What's up? It's the Brunch Breakdown. Didi out here in Los Angeles. Dan is in Pittsburgh, and Chris is somewhere. He came for episode 200. Shouts to him.
Yes. Well done.
But then this week he was like, guys, I've done enough.
Yeah. There's a reason we joke that we celebrated episode 200, but Chris celebrated episode 100 last week. And here we go. Some things never change. We hit the milestone and keep on cruising along. Just the two of us today.
Yep, that is how it works. This guy's just, and the thing is, like, he's just posting pictures from a boat. It's not like we didn't know where Chris was, but I thought, like, maybe he'd act like he was like working hard, training camp,
Yeah.
working super hard. No, no, he's just like, I'm on a boat.
No. Yeah. And last time I was on a boat, he commented that there's Wi-Fi up there. And I think same can go for him. Yeah, he did send us a video though. I almost
He
forgot about
did.
that.
He did send us a video. So we're going to have to
We'll
play
at least
that
hear
here in a
from
little
him.
bit.
Yeah,
So
we're
we're
gonna
very excited.
we're gonna have to. If we don't, he'll never send one again.
No, he'll never send one again, ever again. Oh man, it was funny when we did when you weren't on the episode the other week. We almost forgot about your video, and then
I
just like
know,
so
I
it
know
just
you
plays
did.
like near the end.
I was like, oh man, they're gonna blow
I was
right
like, oh
through this
shit,
thing.
we
Good thing I took
forgot about
time.
Dan.
Good thing I took time out of my vacation to record this
Yeah.
secretly.
All right. Well, today on the Brunch Breakdown, we're talking a lot of Olympics. We got opening ceremonies to talk about. We got just random other Olympic thoughts to talk about. And whenever we hit like leave on Zoom, Joe Biden dropped out. Well, Joe Biden left the presidency. So we're gonna talk about that in our own way here in a few minutes. And we got brunch court, we got music, we got beer, we got more. Dan, let everybody know where they can find all 200 episodes and more of us.
Certainly. Anywhere podcasts are available. We're out there on the market. You can find us anywhere that you find podcasts. You can find the Brunch Breakdown podcast. It's that simple. Okay. New episodes come out each and every Wednesday. You just gotta hit follow, subscribe, whatever verbiage they want to call it, on your favorite platform. The episode comes right to you. Okay. Every Wednesday morning. It's that simple. You can also check out the video episodes as well. We're gonna get to Brunch Court later. You're gonna want to hit the videos just to see what we're talking about. We're gonna do our best to describe it for you. We know most people are audio listeners of our program, but the video takes it to another level. We encourage you to check out the video. Where can you find the video? YouTube, Facebook, Spotify. Those are at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Okay. The audio comes out right away. The video, gotta schedule those. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Anytime you want to watch after that, they're gonna be ready for you on the go. We're everywhere on social media as well at Brunch Breakdown. And then, of course, we give you what we're listening to each and every week. We put it into a playlist for you. We upload that to Spotify. We call it the Sounds of Brunch. Tell Siri, tell Alexa, tell AI, play me the Sounds of Brunch and enjoy that for your week ahead.
We're gonna have to have an episode about AI. I don't know where it goes or where it starts, but like I just
Yeah.
want to talk about some just feel like AI is everywhere, but like not doing what I thought it would be doing, I guess.
Right.
I'm not all that impressed by things at this moment.
Yeah, there's a
So,
lot to get into there. There's a lot to peel back at that onion. That'll be a
yes.
dedicated show to AI, I think,
Yeah, we're gonna have to do
for sure.
that. All right. Well, it's time to get random topics off of our chest. Dan, get it off your chest. Go for it, man.
I'd be happy to. And I'll start with asking you a question,
Hey,
Didi.
get it.
When's the last time you went to a museum? Can you think of when that was?
The last time I went to a museum, well, you got to remember, I got children.
Right.
So I go to museums. So probably like maybe a month, two ago.
Okay. So not that long ago.
Not too long. No, not so long
Okay.
ago.
Have you ever been to a museum with someone who's like really smart? Like really smart?
No, I
Okay.
absolutely, I have not. No offense to anyone I've ever been to a museum with. But
Yes.
yeah,
And mostly no offense. Right. I guess that's a good point. Neither have I.
like,
Thank you for putting that out there. A few weeks back when we were in DC checking out the Savannah Bananas, we went and visited some of the museums there
oh,
in
of
our
course.
downtime, of course, right? A lot of them are free to the public there, which is great. But it reminded me of something that drives me absolutely nuts at places like this. And what I'm talking about are these people. Yes, these people Always starts off well when we call somebody these people, these know-it-alls. Maybe familiar with these people who I'm talking about, who have to provide the people that they are with a complete narration of additional facts and history and knowledge that frankly really nobody cares about. Like they're just there to flaunt, basically. Maybe like they like to hear themselves talk, you know. And I everywhere we turned, there was another one of these people. These rocks were discovered in blah blah blah, and when they reach 97 degrees, they actually emit a gas, blah blah blah, and you can only find them blah 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 region of the world, blah blah. I'm like, oh, like I feel terrible for these people that they're with, but I also don't want to be around these people. Nobody likes the narrator at the museum unless they're working there, right? Unless you want to hear things like that. Man, if somebody asks you a question, hey, I know you got a lot of insight on this stuff. Hey, I know, like, that's fine. That's not what's happening here. These are people that just won't shut up, that are just giving play by play of everything that they know about every little unimportant, frankly, detail about history or this species or this scientific whatever. If you know so much about these things, grab an application at the door. That's what you need to do. Okay. Otherwise, no one wants to hear your expertise on any subject in this museum. It's just the museums are there to just enjoy, not to listen to your take, your opinions, your facts, whatever you may have. These people just drive me nuts. I don't know if you've run into people like this recently, Didi. Probably at, along the way in the course of museums from time to time, but these people, it just drove me nuts. And going through DC, they were everywhere. They were just everywhere.
What annoys me about that is that, like, I know exactly who you're talking about, the people you're talking about, because it's
Yeah.
like these people, you don't work there.
Right.
So there's already other people. There are already docents at the museum telling people what to do, doing tours, giving guided things. But then there's always this other person who's in the same thing, just talking.
Right.
And you're just like, who are you talking to? What are you doing? No, I understand completely what you're saying, because I'm just like, there are people who work here. Like, if you had a museum badge on, there wouldn't be two people in the same room talking about this stuff.
Right.
Like, that's the
Exactly.
problem. It's like you got too many people who know what's going on. Like, I like going to art museums a lot. I don't know really anything about art. I just like art. It just gives me energy. I enjoy it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need people to tell me exactly what this means and what kind of strokes these are here in the corner. I don't need this. So I definitely don't need two people doing the same thing. It's like, yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
I get you.
If you want that, grab an application, be one of those people that we want to hear from and be the one person in the room. But don't bring your own flair and whatever to it. Just please leave. Please be quiet. Actually, just be quiet.
Yes. Good God, man. People can really just screw up a museum experience, especially when it's like quiet,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
they're just talking.
And they're like up at right at the thing you want to see. They're way up at the front. And like you do that just normal, natural thing through museum. You kind of wait for people to move around if you want to get a closer look at something. And these people just up there taking their time. And you have to hear this nonsense while you're waiting. And it's to the point where you're like, we have to move on. I want to see this thing up and close, but I can't stand this person and they're not moving. That's being very annoying.
I'm with you. All right,
Yeah.
I gotta get this off. I gotta get this off my chest. This is probably positive, but maybe it's negative. I don't know. It's depending on who
Okay.
you are. I'm a person who has lots of opinions. We have a podcast. We make fun of people. We make fun of things. We do whatever. But like, I feel like when I do that, it's never like malicious. It's just more like something that I wouldn't do. And I just want people to like let people do what they want to do. Like, if it's your friend and they like doing something that you don't like doing, but they are obsessed with it, who cares? Like, I saw this really long post by somebody that like I've known, a friend of a friend, that they were just mad because like their friends are always like mad because they like going to Disney a lot, right? And I'm just like,
Hmm.
for you to do this, that means like someone actually was being serious. It wasn't like lighthearted, like making fun. Because anybody I know, and I know a lot of people who love going to Disneyland because of the places I work and going to Disney World and whatever. Like, but anytime, like they make fun of themselves a lot. And like everyone kind of knows, like, yeah, that's what they do. So we all
Yeah.
kind of give jabs. But for someone that I know like kind of well to like post this, I was like, you your friends were like serious? So they were actually like fighting with you about it? So I just felt like saying, like, leave people alone. Like if you like
Mm.
doing something, like if they like doing something, cool. You don't have to do it. They're obviously not asking you to go. Like, let people go and do what they want because we all do things that other people are like, yeah, why would we do it? Like, Chris has dedicated his whole life to weightlifting. I'm obviously not doing that.
Yeah.
But like I don't care. It's like we love going to concerts. Like other people don't. They're like, why would you ever do that? Why would you ever go sit with thousands of people at a music festival? That's insane. It's because I want to. Like, just let people do what they want. Like, there's a lot of miserable people out here, and I feel like people got to stop being miserable and just do what you want to do. Like, let people do what they want. You know,
Yeah.
I'm all for jokes. I'm all for like having fun with things, but it's also like if you actually making someone upset about what they do for fun in this world where we're like, everything negative is thrown at us all the time, and like you have this one thing you do for fun and you're gonna make them sad about it. That's crazy. Just
Yeah.
let people do what they want. That's all. People
That's
have
good.
fun.
Yeah. There's enough other stuff in the world to get angry and upset about.
Yeah.
That stuff, that shouldn't be high on your list.
Yeah. Like I
Now, granted,
really
I
don't
just yelled
understand
at
it.
people that like talk at museums. Again,
Oh well,
not high on the list, but again, we
listen.
have a platform, we have a job to do, and that's
Yeah, like I'm not going to say I'm not
some
going to make fun of people for doing the things that they do,
some are rightfully so. But yeah, especially when it's your friends and
but it's
yeah, it's
but I hope I'm never making someone upset over an opinion that I have over something that I technically wouldn't do. Because
right.
that's just is like that's just a lot. Like I'm making jokes, man. Just like yeah.
It's interesting that I kind of think about it in the same light that I think something I've been really witnessing a lot lately. And I don't know, probably, I mean, it's been ongoing, but like the way people just generally dress, we talk about that a lot on this podcast. And it just baffles me sometimes. As recently as last night, I'm like, what is wrong with people? We're in kind of a like nicer, not like nice, but like semi nice, casual, but like slightly upscale casual place. And
Mhm.
there's a dude, sleeveless shirt, gym shorts, flip flops, and a backwards hat at the bar. And I'm like, what? Are people thinking? But it's like if those people didn't exist, like I wouldn't like look as good, right?
See?
It's like we kind of need some of those people that do their own thing, and you just almost want to, you just have to like let it go. But so like in the same voice of what you're saying, we're not all going to be able to like and enjoy the same things, and that's probably a good thing, or else we all be pretty boring and dress the same, and then I definitely wouldn't like that. So
I mean,
we need the bums out there.
honestly, just think about it. Like you could look at that guy who was at the bar dressed like this at the bar at a
Yeah.
nice place and just be like, go up to him and thank him. Be like, you're the reason why I found the love of my life. Because if you were dressed like me, she possibly could have picked you. But because you're dressed like you.
Yes. Or if I was dressed like you, she definitely wouldn't have looked at me the same way. So
See, exactly. That's what I mean. So it's like,
right.
like it's
Yeah.
you got to think about it like that. It's
We
like,
need
but
that.
there,
It's head scratching, but we need it. We do.
yeah,
We need the balance, and it's just part of life. We need
yeah.
it.
So you just gotta give those people a high five. You just
Yeah.
dap them up on them coming out the door, like, thank you, sir. No,
Yeah.
like, why? Just you don't worry about it. Just thank you for being you. You know what I mean? And
Right.
just, walk out the door with your wife, just
Yes.
happy, you know?
Exactly.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's get into some brews. And I have a brew, and it's not a specific thing, but I just want to say, I love what's actually specific, but I think I've talked about it before, so I'm just like, whatever. But I found the best seltzer. Have I talked about this? I don't think I had, but maybe I hadn't. I found the best seltzer, and I'm not buying any other ones. And it
Okay.
sucks that it's the most expensive one. Neutral. It's the best
Hmm.
one. Neutral is the best. Nutrl. I think that's how it's spelled. Neutral. It's the best one. It tastes the best, and it's also more expensive than all of them. It
Of
has
course.
less calories than all of them too, and it's just the best one. And it makes me mad that it's the best one because we threw a party for one of the kids, and our friend Courtney, very good friend of the fam, was like, uh, "Get neutral." Seltzers was like, "Cool," and I see how much they cost, and I was like, "What bougie shit are you making me buy?
Yeah.
These things better be good." And I remember at the party, they were gone like so fast, didn't get any. And then like months later, I was like, oh, I need to pick these, those pick these things up. Pick them up. And like, this is delicious. Fuck Courtney. She's right about this shit. Damn it. These things are great. And then it's just, they've just been the seltzer that have just been in the house. And like, I had one last night and I was like, God damn it, man. Like, this is the best. These are the best ones. So, neutral seltzers, they're the best one. Doesn't matter what flavor it is, peach lemonade, whatever. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. They're fire and they're the best ones. So if you're out and about doing whatever, neutral's the one. But you'll be sticker shock when you see them in the store.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, for 8? But they're the best ones.
So that
So
was going to be one of my questions was, are the flavors kind of more on the traditional side? Or are they getting a little bit more exotic? Is peach lemonade a flavor?
yeah, peach lemonade's a flavor. They have a
Okay,
whole
so that's a
lemonade.
little bit,
Yeah, they have a
that's
whole
a little
lemonade
different.
pack with peach lemonade, blackberry lemonade,
Okay.
blueberry lemonade. Yeah, it's like, and it's the lemonade pack is fire. But then they have the traditional stuff that's just like regular flavor or whatever.
Okay.
But like, they're good. They've got like an orange juice vodka flavor, like that's really good. It's just the best one. I don't know what they're doing in there. I haven't done research on
Yeah.
neutral seltzers, but they're just the best ones. So as
Okay.
we've gone down from the seltzer craze, it's like there's one that's standing out, and it's like that's basically the only one I'll have at the house.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Try to check
yeah,
that out. Again, me, not
the
huge seltzer
neutral.
guy, but
No,
certainly willing to try something that's late as designated as the best.
yeah.
There's a few that I enjoy, so be on the lookout for those. Uh, Little spoiler alert: we may or may not be getting into the world of seltzer with Brunch Court later today. So stay tuned.
Oh, can't wait.
Stay tuned. For me, bringing something pretty unique to the table. Managed to swing by this brewery quickly over the weekend. It's in an area about 45 minutes north of Pittsburgh, Zelienople, and it's called Shoe Brew, Shubrew, and they do some like absolutely wild smoothie style sour beers, which is of course right up my alley. And so this particular series, the Smooshy series,
Mushi.
rotates Smooshy. Yes. Rotates through different flavors, and they have a new one particularly for this summer. And I don't know how many listeners will be familiar with this dessert, but DD, I have a feeling that you will, being from the area of the country that I sit in right now. Strawberry pretzel salad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And to describe it for those of you that aren't super familiar, it could be done a couple different ways, but I think traditionally it's kind of like a pretzel crust at the bottom, like crunched up pretzels, like sort of solid crust, and then strawberry jello, right? And then usually there's like a Cool Whip or a cream cheese that can kind of go on top amongst the choices there, and it's unbelievably good.
It's really good. It's fire. My aunt
Yeah.
makes. I mean, I'm sure everyone at home, their aunt makes it the best. My
Yeah,
aunt makes it the
right.
best.
Right. There you go. Of course. It's a staple in this area of the country, and especially summertime. And so they embraced strawberry pretzel salad and turned it into a beer. And yeah, it works. Super
Oh,
tasty. Super, super tasty. Loads of like authentic strawberry at first. It's very red, thick beer. It's creamy. It's sweet. And then they added this, they get the saltiness from like a slight saltiness, right? Just the right amount where it feels like you're getting that pretzel taste, kind of that creaminess that you would get because they did add lactose to it, of course, to kind of get that cream cheese flavor in there. Very well executed. Excellent, excellent beer. The Smooshy strawberry pretzel salad from Shoe Brew. That was the beer for me this week.
Ooh,
Yeah, hit all the right notes, hit all the right
that's
spots for summertime.
that sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like the perfect summer thing. And also it's like got familiar flavors that are in a lot of beers these days anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like putting those together. Not saying it's easy. I don't know how to do that, but I'm just
Sure.
saying it feels like those are like a lot of flavors that are just like in beers now anyways. And I
Right.
feel
It's
like
not
that's like
so
a
crazy. It's like what if you
yeah.
just put them together,
Yeah, it makes
and
sense that
execute
someone would
it
be like, let's try to make this happen. I feel like it's like you kind of got this over here, you got this over here. Let's make it happen.
for sure. For
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
that's good
It's
shit.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I had some beer with like when I was in, I think Vegas. It was like some strawberry rhubarb thing, and I was like, "This, it's fire." I can't remember what it was called. I'll try to find it at some point.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
like it. I
yeah.
like it.
All right, man. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to Bruce Day.
Cheers to Brews Day. All right. Well, let's get into the main menu. The Olympics are going on, and the fact that Dan's not in Paris is the shock to
It's
me.
stunning, isn't it?
It's honestly shocking to me. But one thing I will say, it just looks like there's a lot of police everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that doesn't, that just looks like it's on edge. I don't know. So
Yeah,
a
yeah, it's been
lot
a
of
little sketch there so far, right? I don't know if you heard about the fires that
yeah,
were set ablaze to the rail system. People coming in from all over different countries of Europe, not able to get in because they set these major railways on fire. It's just like, yeah, they're on definitely high alert over there. That's for sure. And there's other
yeah.
attempts that have been stopped, but yeah, definitely the presence is noticeable, noticeable
Yes,
in Paris.
it's very noticeable. All right. Well, opening ceremonies, man. I personally think this was the most entertaining opening ceremonies that I have ever watched. I was like, this is incredible. I loved every second of it. I was watching it because I didn't work on Friday, so I was just like doing work and like had had the TV on and it was just like on. I was like, this is awesome. But anyways, Dan, how do you feel opening ceremonies?
An absolute train wreck.
Oh my no!
Literally
Why?
the worst, entertaining, yes, but the worst opening ceremony in the history of the Olympics. Just from planning to execution to presentation was so bad, but it was laughable, which is what made it entertaining. I will absolutely give you that. But I mean, Los Angeles in 4 years they're sitting there licking their chops going, we cannot get any worse than this. They have just set this up for us to hit a home run. This was so bad. The idea on paper of the river entrances is very cool. It was done so poorly, and all the entertainment around it was off. Most of it was just dumb, just really dumb. Yeah, terrible, terrible. I had a friend text, probably a good friend of the program, a friend text me that said, I think the first televised opening ceremony was probably better than this one, however long ago that was. Credit to Rico. That's a good credit to Rico. That's a great line. But I mean, train wreck, man. I mean, I've got a whole list of things that were terrible about it, but entertaining, yes, I will give you that.
I thought the exact opposite. I was watching this and I remember I text Siobhan and I was like, dude, LA has got a lot to live up to pass this.
Come on.
I loved it so much. I loved that they were using the city all over the place. It's like all of a sudden they just like camera pans. There's some rock band like playing a part of like Les Mis off of balconies and shit. There's a drummer on this balcony, some guitarists doing this.
Yeah.
I just loved all the music. All of a sudden, Lady Gaga singing some French song, whatever. That was cool. It was like Lady Gaga, this is who she is now. That's fun. I was like, I liked some of the boats. The only thing I thought was like shaky, literally, were the boats. Because
Yeah.
some of them small countries, I'm like, guys, you really should have worked this out. I was like, did each country have to fund their own boat? Because
it looked suspicious
some of them,
to put it lightly. It looked suspicious.
yeah.
If you were paying attention to the countries with small boats, it just didn't look good.
It did not look good. I was like, wait, like, I hope they didn't make them say, all right, and you also have to bring a boat this year. Like, because, it's like, I'm not talking about the US boat, which I honestly thought, like, and I'm sure the US wanted it to be bigger because it's us. So I thought it would be bigger, thought it would be more ridiculous looking, but no, it was
Yeah.
just big enough and it was fine. But like, I just thought it would be more ridiculous, but it wasn't. But yeah, some of them boats, man, some of them countries, I was like, oof, oof.
Yeah.
Oh, this thing is going down. And this was like earlier on in the ceremony where it was like actually light out. And I think it was raining, but it didn't look as bad as it did later on in the night.
Yeah,
Like
because
later on,
then
when it
later it
got
got
nighttime, then it was like, holy shit.
way worse.
Um, but yeah, I thought the boat, I mean, I thought it looked cool. I thought all this stuff, like making the runway, making the fashion runway, the bridge. Like I don't know. I just thought it was cool. I thought the music was good. I
No,
thoroughly enjoyed it.
it was too all over the place. It was like runway, boats, roof, boats. Like what? And then they would stop. Like that's the thing. The opening ceremony really is usually this long presentation,
Very long.
then the entrances of the countries, right? This was like intermittent throughout the whole thing, and it made no sort of sense. There were boats, and then it was like we'd go away for 20 minutes, and we come back, and we're like, oh, more boats. What? Like, again, on paper, I think it made sense, but the Assassin's Creed character who nobody could figure out who that was and why he was there and took the torch from the kids, and it just was weird jumping from roof to roof. There was too much of it that was pre-recorded.
There was a lot
I
pre-recorded.
didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Lady
just
Gaga was pre-recorded, I believe.
was it? Yeah, famous French artist Lady Gaga. Yes. So glad she made it.
International. Listen, they were like, we need somebody that the whole world knows that can just in a day can sing a French song. And it was Lady Gaga's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Did someone say musical theater? Let's go.
It seems like they put that together in a day because they were like, where should we do this? They're like, how about these steps over here?
Yeah.
Sure, do it on these steps. Can you imagine the comment I kept making is, if you're there watching this looks terrible. Like she's really far away and she's just like over here. Like a lot of that, not well done for anybody in person that waited there, that tried to get in there. It was made for TV, but not even good for TV. Like Lady Gaga's stage was terrible. It didn't make any sense why it was there. And the movement back and forth. The dancing was horrible. It might have been the worst thing, was the dancing. Did you see those like can dancers? It looked like the whole line just quit and they're like got people up and they're like, kick your legs whenever you can. Just move to the beat. It was terrible.
Oh, wow.
It was absolutely terrible.
Oh my God. Now we have to watch the opening ceremonies together every year because
we should
know that you were going, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What?
Now I will say, you mentioned the metal band that was the Marie Antoinette part. I mean, Les Mis, Marie, which I could have used more Les Mis. It was just not enough for me. Les Mis, Marie Antoinette, and then the metal band. That was probably the coolest part of the whole thing.
Oh,
those
awesome.
three. That was very, very cool. It was different, very, very cool. But then, like, all of a sudden, in the middle of this thing, we get like a 5-minute Minion movie. What the hell are we doing? Why are the Minions involved in this whatsoever? And why did it last for like 5 minutes? Can you explain that to me? I don't need that at all. It makes in France?
Dude, it is now the biggest animated franchise of all time.
Good for them. I don't need it in my opening ceremony.
They don't even talk. I don't understand. I don't get it.
That's probably why they're like, they speak a language that nobody understands. That's why we can throw it in the Olympics. Is that like, come on?
That's basically
30 seconds. I'll give you 30 seconds, but it was too long for that. That I didn't understand whatsoever. How about the credit to friend of the program, friend of ours, Megan, for naming what has now become, I think, a popular name. Did you witness at the end there the trash barge, which was basically the barge that was the stage that was on fire with the musician and the piano playing on it, somehow thanks to Yoko Ono that she was singing Imagine. The trash barge.
Oh my God.
It was unbelievable.
I thought that was cool. Like, I swear, I watched the whole opening ceremonies enjoying everything. I was like, this is crazy. I think I liked it so much because it wasn't just in an arena and they had the whole city to play with. I thought other things were weird but I was like, maybe it's just lost in translation. That's what happens every time there's opening ceremony. And that's the reason why most opening ceremonies to me are boring. Because it's like when they're in Beijing, I don't know anything about Beijing culture. I don't know anything about that. I don't know what they're representing here. But like it felt like I could like they had the whole jumping from the roof thing, the Assassin's Creed guy, which I wrote down. So it's funny you mentioned that too. But like I thought that was all like whatever. And I'm like, it's lost in translation. But like, I don't know. I felt like I could get it. And I felt like, okay, this must be a big person in France. Like even the way it began, where it's like, it's got this comedian guy and he's like in the stadium, like lost, like, you know,
Mhm.
hijinks. Got it. Okay. I don't know
Yeah.
who this guy is, but I'm sure he's like, I don't know, the whoever name whatever comedian from here. He's the Kevin Hart of France. I don't know. And then then there's this reveal. And I was like, that guy must be the shit in France because the way they revealed him, then it was like some soccer player or whatever. I didn't know who the hell he was.
Yeah.
But like when they did the reveal, I went into my thoughts like, oh, that must be The Rock or something like in France. Because the reveal was amazing. I was like, whoa, that guy people have to be amped for you to do a reveal like that with the torch or whatever. And all of a sudden this guy's face is there and sits
Yeah.
there. But yeah, I liked it, man. I just thought it was cool how they were able to use the whole city and it wasn't just in an arena doing these things. And I don't know, I enjoyed it. The music I enjoyed, even though I couldn't even understand some of it. I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah. The
thought,
music was good. It was a little all over the place. They ruined at least 3 pianos. When I made note of that, the one that was on fire at the end and 2 that were just absolutely drenched in the rain that they weren't for some reason prepared for. 3 pianos ruined. And then how about there was one point that again they used art a lot. You know, the Louvre obviously there
mhm,
in like at one point they had like a fake Mona Lisa like floating in the river, just like it was a piece of trash. I was
yeah,
like, is this a good look? This seems wrong. This
yeah,
seems not like a great move.
yeah.
Mona Lisa floating in the river that may or may not have literal shit in it. Like, right? You guys covered that a couple of weeks ago. Um, a little strange. Now you mentioned like when it's in Beijing, like going through, there's a lot of culture stuff there.
Mhm,
And usually you have to rely on the NBC US announcers to kind of talk you through things. It's very clear that NBC knew ahead of time that this thing was going to be all over the place.
mhm.
And like they didn't have to do a lot of explaining because there's some pre-production, there's a lot of dancing, there's whatnot. So they're like, who's the cheapest people we can send? Peyton Manning and Kelly Clarkson. They won't have to explain anything historically. It's fine. Throw them in there. What did you think of their performances?
I thought they were great because I feel like we needed that. And I'm with you, and maybe that is the reason why they were like, this year we can do this. Um, because it wasn't because usually they do have to break in. They're like, oh, and this is the lighting of
Yeah.
the candle from such and such in 1486, and this is what this means. And I'm like, oh, okay, got it. But really, I just remember Mike Tirico told me who that soccer dude was, like after that whole big reveal, and I was like, thank you, Mike Tirico. Because I was like, I needed to know who this person was. Like, I mean, he's all of a sudden he's running through the town, he's in the subway, it's all this stuff. I'm like, somebody knows who this guy is. Like,
Yeah.
this is a big deal that they use this guy. Like is this Beyonce in France? Like, I need to know who this guy is. Like, why is it such a big deal? So
Yeah.
Mike Tirico just like it's like sound dropped. Mike Tirico comes in and says, oh, and that's blah blah blah. And I was like, thank you, Mike. Now I'm good. I can watch the rest of the show. But yeah, I think that was probably why they got Peyton Manning and Kelly Clarkson this year because they could just because it was like you could just say, oh, this music's so current, I love it. Like
Yeah.
here's Lady Gaga. Like Kelly Clarkson seemed very wowed by everything. She
Yeah.
seemed very
Yes.
yeah.
Especially Celine Dion, which was probably
Oh
the best part.
well,
It was the best part. No
yeah,
doubt. Hands
yeah.
down, the best part of the whole thing.
Got chills. That was cool.
Big time. And they like Mike Tirico's like going to Kelly Clarkson. She's like, I can't talk right now. She's like, please stop talking. Please stop looking at me. Like, I understand why you want my opinion, but I can't give you anything right now. But that was at least a moment. I thought it was interesting too, how traditionally with the opening ceremony, and maybe when it was live, they probably obviously showed this, but for the primetime edition, they skipped the speech of the French president. They
Yeah.
skipped the speak of the president of the IOC and the raising of all 3 flags.
Yeah.
The Olympic flag, the Greek flag, and the French flag. They skipped over. all of that. I'm like, wow, this is usually the biggest part of the ceremony. And NBC was just like, nope. And we cut ahead and we're bringing you to the back of the stadium where no athletes stuck around, apparently, except for the US and French teams. Did you notice that too?
Yeah.
At the very end, the stadium was very empty. All those other athletes who had been on boats. That's why you can't do this like boat parade for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
The first country's like, oh, wait, you want us to stand in this stadium in the rain for how long? Until the
Absolutely not.
US and France get here? No, we're going home. Are you kidding me? So that
Yeah.
made it look a little like not so great at the very end.
Yeah, that was the end was, it's fine. But Celine, like that was
Amazing.
cool. Like I'm just like, I don't know what, dude, I truly don't know, man. Like I'm like, you didn't like it, so whatever. But I was just watching, like, I don't know what moment LA is gonna create in 2028. But I hope they're ready. But it was, I'm interested to see. I just thought it was cool. It was very, I don't know, I don't know, it was just very, there's just a lot of stuff going on. They really went for, we are going to make this as entertaining as possible and as easily digestible to other countries as possible. That's how I looked at it. Where like a lot of opening ceremonies are not, because they were just like, here's this hip hop artist. You don't know what he's saying, but you know these beats. Here's this, but you don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, here's this girl singing pop music. You don't know this, but it's got African rhythms in it, and that's what's going around the country. You know that. You can feel that. So I felt like they were like, we were very true. It's like, oh, here's these drag queens on the runway. You get that. Here's this. Like they were like doing things that was like, you may not understand, but like it will be, you'll be able to follow. You'll be able to get it.
Did that surprise you coming from a country like France and a city like Paris? Because I think
Yes.
that's probably what surprised me the most. It's like you think that they're like, oh, we're going to give you all of us.
That's what I thought too. So, yeah, I thought it was going to be very boring like usual, but it wasn't.
Yeah. So the last thing I'll say about, because we could do this all day
Yeah.
for the next 15 days. I, for the first time, we watched the opening ceremony with a group of people. And you know me, Mr. Olympics. If anybody's not watching, I have got my Team USA Nike pullover on right now, flying the colors. I was a little nervous because I like, again, through a lot of like the history stuff, you have to kind of hear what they're saying. Otherwise, it's useless. You're like, I don't know what they're doing. So I was worried about that. But we watched it with a group. It ended up being a very good time because, again, it was entertaining how trash fire, it was dumpster fire. But we were noticing, we were like, let's judge the outfits of all the countries,
Ooh.
right? Because that's a spectacle part of it too, right? Like, let's judge the outfits. We were a little disappointed this year. Now, I liked what Team USA was wearing, but I want to give a shout out to a couple of countries that went above and beyond and stuck out to us. Aruba, Mongolia, Mozambique, Papua New Guinea, always coming in strong. Poland surprised us. Slovakia, Somalia, Togo. I mean, and thanks to Megan for taking notes and sending over that list, of course. But that was a fun part that like made the boat parade a little bit more entertaining. Is how is everybody dressed? What are they looking like? Are they representing their country? Are they showcasing the colors? And a lot of countries disappointed, but that at least made that entertaining. We also realized that like being the flag bearer is a huge deal, right? And every country has a man and a woman flag bearer. This was probably the worst year to be a flag bearer because you don't get that moment of leading your country into a stadium when everybody's watching just you. You just be like one of 6 flag bearers on a boat going by, and you get your moment of just holding it there. So that was a
Yeah.
little bit of a letdown, I'm sure, for one of the largest honors that you can have for your country.
Yeah, and the only reason it works for LeBron is because LeBron is 6'9",
Yeah, right.
275 pounds. So he ended up looking like Captain America, literally looked like a superhero on that
Literally.
boat because every other Olympian, except for the NBA players, are all small.
Right.
Like, for the most part, they're like gymnasts and all this other thing. It's like he just looked like a superhero with that flag. No one else did. It's like you just were a bunch of people jammed on a boat. So like you didn't get to lead, like literally lead them out. It's usually like the two flag bearers and they're like in front of the rest of the pack wearing the different jackets. Like this year it was like a cream colored jacket. It was different than the other blue ones. So it's just, he was the only one. It's like, I don't know where Coco Gauff was in any of those pictures. Like no clue. I don't have a clue where she was in any of those pictures, but I know where LeBron was. He looked like a superhero holding the flag.
For sure.
Like, yeah. And Greece's didn't look that much different because 7'1" Giannis is holding the freaking Greek flag. Like, so yeah, that would suck because you just didn't really know who the flag bearers were because everybody is just like jammed onto a boat, and some countries literally jammed onto a boat that was like tilting.
Yeah.
But speaking of fashion, what you didn't mention was South Sudan. I just sent you a text. I just sent you a picture of my guys from South Sudan. Fire.
There they are. There they are.
The only team I'm terrified for the basketball team in the Olympics, who they play, I think, on Wednesday, is South Sudan. And I'm more terrified now, not just because they almost beat them in the exhibitions, but because of the way they came. Like this fit? What? What? Opening? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Strong.
Very strong.
Yeah, they came to play. Like South Sudan, they were not messing around. Like they were like, no, we're getting these fits off for the Olympics. Let's do this. Like the youngest country came dressed like they were the youngest country. They came in. They're like, we're the youngest. We are the coolest country in the world. And we're the youngest and we're the coolest. We're done. Like this is money.
Here's our moment. Yeah.
This is our moment. So
just nothing looked quite as strong as it probably naturally did with the poncho over it. Nothing looked good with the poncho.
Nothing. I felt so bad. I was just like, that has to suck. Because, and then especially with like, I just think of the US a lot because it was like, every time they went to like Maria Taylor, like on the boat.
Yeah.
She would like talk to some players some people who were outside. But then when they went to like another like NBA player, they were all inside. Because I just want to know at what point were they just like, I am way too rich for this.
Like we're on a boat that serves fancy dinner service around Paris. We're gonna hang out down there until it's our time to be on camera.
Yeah, I really wonder at what point did like some of them look at each other like, I am too rich for this. Like even Coco Gauff, who is she was like the second highest, made most money on anyone on the tennis tour last year, like second or third. And I'm like, yeah, like you were mega rich now. Like at what point were you just like, I am too rich for this? Or like, some swimmer, the rifling girl, like. Yeah, she's like, this is the best day of my life. Yeah. But everyone else is like, man, I'll tell you, get off how long we still on this boat? Like, Olympics be damn. I don't want to gold medal, but I ain't here for this shit.
Right?
Like I just wonder how long. It's like until somebody started being like, oh man, I don't want to be here anymore.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And another outfit thing, and this will go on throughout the Olympics. I don't know if you saw the Brazilian skateboard team. Specifically the women, because I'm sure the dudes didn't dress like this.
No.
But or girls, because they're like all the skateboarders are super young.
Oh,
but
like
they just looked they looked like skateboarders. Like they literally had like there's like these Brazil like crop tops and then like baggy green like cargo pants. And I just thought they looked cool. Like they just looked fun. Like me and Siobhan were just like, man, they just looked dope. Like they just looked like skateboarders out there. Like you had no idea. They looked like they were just like, just doing it. So,
okay, so just embracing
Brazil,
who they are.
Because it's usually it's just like, it's like they wear like the oversized like country t-shirt, whatever, and it's like, they still look like skateboarders, but those were just kind of like stood out. So shouts to Brazil.
Yeah, okay, Brazil.
Yeah, just look fire.
Bring a little fire. I like it.
Yeah, just look fun.
I like it.
But yeah, we'll have more Olympic talk.
Oh yeah,
as the brunch breakdowns go down.
I promise you that.
Okay, so Joe, when we got off the podcast last week, Joe Biden like literally hit like end. So he knew the brunch breakdown was over, and then he was like, guess what, guys? I'm leaving. Yeah. So we didn't get to talk about this last week. Joe Biden is out, and now Kamala Harris is coming in, and we've got a whole new thing going on. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like we have a campaign now. Felt like we didn't have a campaign before.
Right.
But now it's like we actually have a presidential race going on. It's not like the sequel to a movie that nobody really liked 4 years ago. So now it's like we've got, It's like we got new characters in.
Definitely.
But with that, I asked Dan last night, what is the hardest thing that you've ever had to quit? Because to Joe Biden, it's hard. I have sympathy for the guy. Like he had to go. Everyone knew he had to go. Everyone basically just came against him and like, we're just like, dude, you gotta go. Like even Barack Obama was like,
Yeah.
bruh, you gotta go.
And they like wait till he's like, that's like almost the worst part was like, oh, you have
Yeah,
COVID? Well, we got to break something to you.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
feel well? Well, wait till you
yeah.
hear this.
Yeah. So wait till you see this New York Times op-ed by George Clooney. Wait till you like Jesus
Yeah. I
Christ.
know you've been hearing it, but
Yeah. Yeah. So that happened. And so I just want to know what's the hardest thing you've ever had to quit? Because this could not have been easy. And I'm
yeah.
not, quitting things is tough. It's the hardest thing you ever had to quit.
First thing is tough. This was a really, really, really good question. And it actually hit me like recently in you know this, and a lot of close members and people know this, that I recently started a new job, which means I had to quit my former job. That within the past month, that was probably the hardest decision that I've like one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make, and probably the hardest quit that I've ever had to do was that job, because I was leaving somewhere that I liked. I loved it there. When you have to leave something for a reason beyond, I don't like it here anymore, or I don't like this coworker or my boss or whatnot, like that wasn't the case for me, which I realize is kind of rare in some instances. I think a lot of people leave jobs either for money or because they don't like it. I liked it there. I liked it there a lot.
Yeah.
And so having to leave knowing that and like take a gamble somewhere else was huge and really, really difficult. I mean, maybe not dropping out of the presidency difficult, but really, really challenging. And I think even any job that I've had to walk away through, some like key ones, I've had to leave a job in a family business, my own family business. That was really hard. And then my first job of walking away from working in sports, something I wanted to do for so long. And I'll never forget how difficult that decision was, making a transition out of working in sports completely. I had called mentors to like walk me through that. Am I making the right decision? Yada, yada, yada. So 3 jobs in particular, probably the most recent one though. Those were the first things that came to my mind. How about you?
Dude, honestly, the thing that just stuck with me was when I came out here. Like
Yeah.
I left a job I loved. I left a girlfriend that I loved at the time. I left all my friends, everything I knew. I never lived anywhere else. I remember like that was the hardest thing I've ever done. Like I was terrified. I was terrified. And I've talked about this on here before, but like I'm hitting 10 years here very soon. But
Yeah.
like actually at the end of the Labor Day weekend it'll be 10 years. And so I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and it's just so crazy how like I was perfectly fine where I was. Like I was perfectly fine where I was. Then I got a
Yeah.
phone call and it was like, all right, everything in your life is gonna change in the next 2 months. Cool. Terrified. For being in Chicago at the airport connecting, like honestly thinking about going back home. Like legitimately.
Hmm.
That was 100% the hardest thing I've ever done. Everything, has worked out and all those things, but it's just that was terrifying. Like terrifying quitting that job. Like it's the job I worked so hard for. It's the job
Hmm.
I'd done everything and built a following, did all these things, and I was like, "Yep, just gonna leave it, throw it all out." And it like terrifying, terrifying,
Yeah. Yeah,
terrifying.
for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. No, I can't even imagine, yeah, what you
No.
went through. And I know that was
Oh,
challenge for
terrifying.
you, 10 years. Jeez. That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Um, there were some other things that came to mind that were maybe less, I don't want to say less serious, but less impactful, maybe. Um, one is, and had to quit slash give up is maybe not the right way to categorize this, but it's close enough where like no longer being in a band or playing live music.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't want to say that was like a choice I made, but it was just like one of those things where it fizzles and then you realize your age, where you are in your life, and you're like, this just can't keep doing this. Can't keep doing this again, or like do it with another band, like start another band. Here we go. That's really tough because especially when you know how many concerts I go to, you go to many as well. It's like that constant reminder every
Yeah.
time when you go to an amazing show, I still have that feeling. And I'm like, damn, you miss it even more when you're in that setting. Um, so that's always been very, very difficult to not have that in my life anymore. Um, so that was again not so much of a choice, but just time. That's what happens.
Uh, in mine is a little. The other one I had was a little goofier because it has to do with clothes. When I realized this like maybe a couple years ago that I can't wear high top sneakers anymore. It just doesn't look right on me, a late 30s gentleman. And listen, maybe it looks good on you if you were in your late 30s or whatever. But for me, I just felt like I looked at myself in the mirror and I was just like, you know what? I feel like I'm trying too hard. Just doesn't look like and it's like it's not even like I am trying too hard. It's just like I have these sneakers and I have like a row of sneakers in my closet. They're just high top Jordans, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna get rid of them.
No.
But like I just had to quit them. And it's hard. I look at them all the time. I'm like, these will look good. No, can't do it.
That's a shame. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just
a
couldn't do
shame.
it. High top
Well,
sneakers. It just looks like I am trying too hard. I don't
hmm.
know. Just for me, it looks like I'm not. Just doesn't connect.
It's a big moment for you.
It
I feel
was.
like, yeah.
It was.
I
It's just
hope
one of those things.
I hope that neither of us has to say, frankly, ever, but it's certainly in the very near future that the thing that we were forced to give up was shopping at Express. Hashtag Save Express was just there
Oh,
this weekend, loading up just in case. But
dude.
I hope we never have to say that in terms of fashion, that
Yeah.
we were forced to give that up. We can't have that. We need that in life.
Yes, absolutely. We should get to Chris because we talked about skipping you a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, we were
Yes.
about to skip him. So let's get to Chris and see what he has to say, what he has to add to the old brunch of breakdown.
Yeah, this may or may not take a left turn, but
Yeah, it probably will.
tune in.
We'll see.
Here we go.
Let's get it.
What's up, boys? I am in between sets and a little out of breath, but checking in on video because I can't be there today to record. And you guys know I get really excited about the start of football season, and that's still true. I have to say, though, I think like we need to change something about the college football preseason because I don't know. You think about it, like we're basically just talking about the same stuff, right? Like every single year, we're talking about the same stuff. Like this coach is on the hot seat. Like why doesn't Pitt play Penn State? Like conference realignment. We're always talking about the same exact things every offseason, and it's getting kind of boring. I think we could spice up the college football preseason in different creative ways. I'm curious to know if you guys have any ideas. The first idea that came to mind for me is I find pro football's preseason to be far more entertaining, in part because they play preseason games. And I know a lot of people hate preseason football, but I'm not one of those people. So if that's your opinion, shut up and listen to me. I think I would like if college football had like at least one preseason game just to break up the stupid stuff that people talk about for a month while there is no football, because they do media days and then there's like a month before any games start being played, and that's just way too much time for people to talk about stuff that's not happening on the field. So I think that would be entertaining, and we could maybe pull from pro football and like start cutting people. I don't know. I know they got scholarships, but the cuts in Hard Knocks are wildly entertaining. It also gives you something else to talk about, right? Like, is this player going to make the team? Is this player not going to make the team? If you follow college football as closely as I do, you probably know that like these programs are locked down It's not like the NFL. You don't get injury reports. You don't get depth charts that are actually real. Coaches aren't going to tell you anything. Most coaches don't even let the media watch practice. So we get like nothing. And I think that needs to change. But what if we started cutting players? Like, let them take more players into camp, and then let's cut some people, just to make it interesting. We could talk about who's going to make the cut, who's not going to. I don't know. It's like day 2 of the college football preseason, and I'm already sick of what everybody's talking about. So let me know what you guys think, and if you have any creative thoughts. Otherwise, have a lovely episode. Training camp is still open. That CGF10 discount code only lasts till the end of the week, till Sunday at midnight. So if you want to get in for $10, join me. It's the most entertaining training camp going on in the entire world.
If anybody watched what we just watched with us, your facial expressions spoke so loudly, and I'm going straight to you. Your instantaneous feedback on what we just watched for the last 3 minutes.
But people, they are student athletes.
Oh, man.
Chris, the most disgusting thing about college sports is how you can literally just pull someone's scholarship away. Like, they all sign basically 1-year deals. Everyone's like, oh yeah, you go to school for 4 years. No, you're not signing a 4-year contract. They can get rid of your scholarship. It's the most disgusting thing about college sports. And Chris is all for it. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's wrong with him. This is the guy who loves college sports probably more than anybody I know. And I got to tell you, my friend, no, we can't have cuts. We can't have kids finding out that they're getting cut from the Pitt football team on Twitter from whoever the insider is. Whoever the college football insider is. We can't have this happen like they do with NBA and NFL players where they're like, yeah, I was just sitting at my house and my son was like, hey, Dad, you just got traded. No, we can't have that. We can't have that.
Especially just for the sake of like pure, like more entertainment. He's just bored.
Yeah.
And that's like, why he wants, like, college football teams already have like 155 players on the roster. What? Who are you cutting? Who are you cutting? You know what I mean? They need those big rosters. They take big rosters. Those cuts would be meaningless. They'd be absolutely meaningless. He wants to take more people into camp. When 250 people come to training camp, and you want to know if this walk-on makes it, like,
this guy.
I don't know, man. Like, Chris, we love him. We know how much he is into college football. Like, enjoy the rest of your July and August. We don't need preseason college football because it takes over for 6 months out of the year. And that's fine. That's plenty of time. Plenty of time. I don't need extra excitement. I agree. It is the same boring stuff, but like, I'm not getting into, I don't care. Like, I'll wake me up week 0 and here we go. Then we're ready to go.
The meat of the boring thing about college football is just that it's all the same teams.
Yeah.
You just don't know where some of those teams are going to end up. For the most part, if you look at I don't know what the preseason top 12, top 15 looks like, but guaranteed 11 of those 15 are going to be there, you know? And then this year I had college again, because like I was watching NBA today and then like College Football Live came on after and they were talking about Penn State's chances for making the college football playoff. And I was like, Penn State, top 4, they really good? No, it's top 12. That makes it boringer.
Yeah.
Because the teams that are in the top 15, pretty much those are going to be the same teams that are going to be talking about it.
Yeah.
Those are the teams that are going to be in the mix. So that makes it even more boring because like you don't have a top 4 conversation of who could possibly be the sneaky team in. It's like, no, the sneaky team in who's ranked 8 right now is going to be in. Right. They're going to lose 2 games and they're going to get in. It's like, oh yeah, is this team? Yeah, they're going to be in there. So it makes it even more boring. So I get the boring part, but yeah. But the main problem is, Chris, The Bear is on Hulu. Watch it. Like, we can give you a list of shows that we think that you would really enjoy. I told him to watch Sprint on Netflix a couple weeks ago. It's freaking phenomenal. It's great. Watch it. Like, get ready for anybody should honestly watch it because like the track stuff happens like next week. So like start watching that and then you'll be super ready for all the track and field stuff. But like, yeah, there's a lot of shows to watch. We can give you a list of things to watch to get you through, to August, to the end of the month.
For the next 2 weeks, you should be watching nothing but the Olympics.
Yeah.
It just get on the Peacock.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Dude.
That'll get you through 2.5 weeks. And then this is the time especially if anybody, should be watching those things, because come the end of August, he's watching football every day, every night through President's Day weekend.
Exactly.
So this is your time. Take the time off. We don't need extra. There's enough stuff.
Yes.
During the season.
Dude.
I'm
telling you.
We don't a preseason too. Just watch the spring game all over again. I don't know.
No, watch.
Scrimmage.
There's a lot of shows to watch.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to give Chris a list of shows he has to watch.
There we go.
That will get him through his weeks of being bored with college football talk. Because, dude, there's shows to watch.
Great shows.
Watch them.
Great shows.
There's great shows to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, get on it, Chris. This is the problem. Let's get you watching some shows. All right. Let's get into Brunch Court. Daniel, what do we got?
Let's do it. We've got 3 quick ones for Brunch Court today. It's been a minute for Brunch Court.
Yes.
I teased kind of the seltzer thing, and we've had this on deck for a little while, and they're out now, but we need to discuss it. And what we're looking at is 0% alcohol-free White Claw. I'll be honest with you. I'm glad that Chris isn't here, because I'm sure he loves this. But Dee, I need to know what you think about non-alcoholic White Claw.
This is the dumbest thing in the world. This is dumb. This is very dumb. This is just juice. This is just, honestly, this is just La Croix or whatever the fuck. Like, that's what this is. People already drink seltzers. So you're going to pay more money for flavored seltzer water? Like, that makes no sense. That's the problem with this. It's like non-alcoholic beer is fine because it tastes like beer, but you're not drinking it. So I get it if you want to have the Heineken Zero or whatever the hell else. Like, I understand that. But this is you drinking a flavored, like you're drinking Poppy or whatever. Oh, there's a million of those flavored seltzers, like just the name brand ones that are just Kroger brand or whatever. Like, that's all this is. That's why this doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you pay more for it? None of that makes sense. It makes no sense.
I actually spoke to someone this morning who had one of these, and I was like, what are you doing? And he claims that these are better tasting than the La Croix, any of those other seltzers out there. I was like, are they though? Are they? And like, I can't really indulge in that because I don't drink those either. But you're right, you're paying more. Like, they can't be that much better.
Because you know how sometimes when you pay more for something and then like you just say that it was better to make yourself feel better?
Yeah.
That's what this has to be. Like, because it gets $4.99. It's not this. You're gonna pay like you're getting you're probably gonna pay slightly less, or I don't know how much it is, but you're probably paying like slightly less than you are to get like an actual like 12-pack of White Claw. And that makes no sense to me. None. Makes absolutely no sense. I understand non-alcoholic, all the things.
Yeah.
Just not this. I don't get it. I don't get this one because you're just paying more to drink flavored sparkling water. Like,
paying for the name. You're paying for the name.
It's stupid.
I'm so glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
With that.
Dumb.
Yeah, we've had to talk about that. That one's been on the burner for a little while. All right. Now we're gonna get back into kind of our sweet spot here.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
so here's what we're looking at if you're not on the video.
Oh boy.
Our good friends at Hers have come out with some pretty wild flavored chips. And it's the Philly contest. It's a flavors of Philadelphia.
Okay.
And these are curated after dishes from local small businesses in Philly. The first one is from a place called Toluto's, and it's cheese ravioli and marinara flavored potato chips. Okay. The second one is from Mom's Kitchen, and it's potato pierogi potato chips. And the third is from Romano's Stromboli. And of course, that flavor being special, hot, Stromboli. Getting the essence of the city in every bite is what they claim. These are limited time only flavors, asking for fans to vote for their favorite Philadelphia flavor. Again, the three being cheese ravioli, Stromboli, and potato pierogi. Daniel Dudley, your thoughts on this brunch court?
Here for it, man.
Are you?
I need to try this special hot Stromboli chip. Bad.
Wow.
Yep. I'm here for it, dude. I'm telling you, man. I don't know how they're making these chips, and I sent you guys this like Mexican corn popcorn that like I had the other
Looked
that somebody
amazing.
brought to our house. And I was like, what is this? I tried. I was like, this is incredible. Like, dude, what they've been able to do with these flavors and chips and popcorn, and we talk about beer every week and how they're able to make. We were talking about beer ice cream last week. Dude, I just trust everything now. I'm just trusting it all because I don't know how these people are making this stuff taste good that just really shouldn't taste good in a chip. And like, I've had the chicken, like they had there was a chicken BLT chip last summer or something. We had fire. Like, dude, I'm just starting to trust it all.
Wow.
Like, I don't know about the pierogi flavor of chip. I don't know about that one. I'll
like
tell
that,
you.
but that should make the most sense, right? Because potatoes already there.
It does, but it's just one of those things where it's like,
Maybe makes it harder though.
Are you gonna notice what you're eating? Is it just gonna make you think like you're eating a weird tasting potato chip and not
like
kind
a
of get hit with
potato onion chip or something like that?
Yeah. So like, I don't really know about that one, but the other two, I'm like, yeah, give them to me. Like, let's try these bad boys out. Like, I'm here for it.
I love it. I appreciate and love your enthusiasm here. You've kind of started to convince me that you're right. You're absolutely right. We've been talking about weird flavored chips on this podcast for quite some time. Yeah. And we try them, and most of the time, they're really good.
I know.
Really good.
Like,
I remember the buffalo chicken one.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So, okay. I'd be willing to try. Yeah, I'm gonna keep your eyes peeled for the hers. If you had them, if you tried them, hit us up at Brunch Breakdown. But these three are different. That's for sure. They are different, but trust the process. Trust the process is what you're saying.
Philadelphia.
Okay. Philadelphia. Yeah, the flavors of Philly. Well represented there. And our last item up for Brunch Court. Here we are. Kraft mac and cheese flavored popcorn. That's right. Right now, this is only being sold online. It's most likely to hit select stores nationwide soon. But Kraft mac and cheese, the blue box, this is the blue bag, if you will, mac and cheese flavored popcorn. What I'll say is are they just using the cheese powder that's in the Kraft mac and cheese box?
Yeah.
Because that's a distinct and unique taste. Cheddar popcorn isn't strange. In fact, it's amazing. It's delicious. This has got to taste different than that, right?
Yeah, it's got to be the flavor of that. I'm surprised it doesn't come with an extra bag on the outside. You put it in yourself. I'm honestly surprised.
That'd be pretty good.
Because there's no reason you do this, and if you're not gonna make it taste like the cheddar packet. Of it. I think this is disgusting. That's me though. I don't think. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of like putting cheese on popcorn. Not a big fan of it.
What about Chicago blend? You do Chicago blend? It's the caramel and the cheddar?
Yeah, a little bit. It's not that I hate
different.
it. It's just not something I'm like gonna buy. Gotcha. It's like, it's kind of like the popcorn bucket that comes at Christmas time. Like I'll eat it out of that because it's just like, it's there, you just do it. But like I'm not gonna want this, but I get why they did it. I get it. Because if you love that flavor of the Kraft mac and cheese, like you're gonna love this. So yeah. I don't hate that they did this. I just know it's not for me.
I do. I like this idea. I want this. I need to look out for when this goes nationwide. I will tell you, I almost saved it for Brunch Court, but honestly, I couldn't wait. I did grab some popcorn recently. It's caramel popcorn with Old Bay.
Ooh.
Super curious.
Yeah.
Super curious on that. And so it's good. The Old Bay seasoning is light.
Okay.
It's a little bit subtle, which probably needs it. I have a feeling they probably need it because it's a sweet and salty. It's mostly a caramel popcorn, and you just got like a little hint here and there of some Old Bay, and it actually works. It actually works pretty well. I tried to save that for a live taste test. I couldn't do it. I'm kind of glad I didn't. So that's Brunch Court.
Hey, that's Brunch Court. Not mad at it. All right, let's get into what we're listening to. Daniel.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right, I'll get it started. Drake put out a song with this producer named Gordo. It's Gordo's album, but he has a lot of different artists on it. T-Pain, a bunch of different people. But Drake has 2 songs on it. The song Sideways is really good, like really good. So check it out. Drake and Gordo, Sideways.
Okay. First one up for me is from Robert DeLong, my man Robert DeLong. He released a song called Soft Boy, which is a great title. Soft Boy. It's poppy, it's catchy, and it's, very distinctly Robert DeLong. If you know anything about Robert DeLong's music and how he sounds, I really hope it gets him back into the spotlight more. He's been making music, but it just hasn't caught as much mainstream heat as kind of his when he first started making music. And the way he makes music is just like super dope. If you've ever seen him or know how he does it, all himself with this like incredible array of instruments and electronics. So Robert DeLong getting a little shout out this week for Soft Boy.
Nice. All right. Ice Spice. And did I put Ice Spice on the playlist last week? No. All right.
No.
So I just want to make sure I didn't do this last week. Ice Spice and Central C did it first. This song's just great. It's just a solid jam. Off her album Y2K. It's just really good, man. That's Ice Spice, man. She just makes me happy. Like, I just enjoy her.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have tried a lot with her.
It's okay.
And it just doesn't work.
It's okay.
And it's just hard for me to understand. But I've given it as much effort as I can.
Hey, it's okay.
I appreciate that.
She gets me.
Okay. Next one for me is from Empire of the Sun, and that name may ring a bell to some people, but to the casual music listener, maybe not. Empire of the Sun, but you've most certainly heard their hit song Walking on a Dream. Very, very, very popular. And they released their brand new album this past week, and I'm going to put The Feeling You Get on the playlist this week. It's super dancey. It's kind of like, it almost feels summery for like kind of a almost EDM focused track, which sounds weird. It's just a great song. It's just a really good song. Glad they're still kicking it. The Feeling You Get from Empire of the Sun.
Are you familiar with an artist named Pale J?
Yes.
Okay, so I was not. I am now. And I'm a huge fan of Pale J now.
Okay.
I heard this song For James randomly on a TV show I was watching, and it's 1 minute and 22 seconds of just awesomeness. And it's just great. Song came out in 2021. I've been listening to everything he's put out since then. And I love that he puts out instrumentals with everything that he does. I think that's kind of fun. And yeah, it's just really good. I'm very I don't know. He's got an album. He's got like an EP coming out in like a couple weeks. I'm very excited about it. But Pale J, check it out. For James is the song.
Very nice. I like that. Oddly enough, the name of my final artist is Pale Waves.
Hey,
So we got a little Pale theme going on here. Pale Waves released a song called Glasgow, and I've been into Pale Waves for a while now and always loved their sound. And this song does a great job of like showcasing them at their best. They're an alt pop band from the UK. They've got an album coming out in September, which I'm super excited about. So Pale Waves, Glasgow.
What's your favorite Celine Dion song?
Ooh. Oh, crap, I can't think of the name of it.
That's the Way It Is mine.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like trying to get to the chorus. I'm like in my head.
That's the jam for me. So we're putting that on the playlist. Yeah. Yep. That's the Way It Is. Put it on the playlist. Shouts to Celine for making basically everybody emotional and all the things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
great pick. Great pick.
So, There it is. And that is what we're listening to. Tell Siri, tell Alexa to play the sounds of Brunch. Dan, any final thoughts here on this jam-packed Olympic brunch breakdown?
Los Angeles, you've got it handed to you. Like you've got it easy. You've got it easy 4 years from now. Dee, I'm gonna rent out your house from you when I come out for the Olympics, and the opening ceremony can literally not be worse. Thank you, Celine.
And that's the Brunch breakdown. We're out.